Hello everyone and welcome to another fantastic, joyous night of racing. This time we will do it under the lights in Saudi Arabia in the Jeddah Corniche circuit. My name is Alupallo. This is your ALR Tier 1 going to war once more. And with that we are gonna see the current championship standings. So, it's Mitchell still leading the championship with the total points tally of, wait for it, everyone's favorite number, 69. Followed closely by Bloodwave at 66 points. In third, PR4 with 55 points. And Stell just behind him with 54. And the rest of the grid is way further back. And Erminator, I was supposed to be driving, did a couple of laps of practice, and realized it's not gonna produce anything. I was close to 2 seconds slower than everyone, so. And we were missing a commentator, so opted to serve as the commentator for tonight. And it appears that for the first time this season in Tier 1, we will have no rain. And, well, judging from the fact that we're in the Middle East, it would have been quite the odd occasion if it were the rain. The first car around our track seems to be a Alfa Romeo of Miguel Fragoso. I don't believe seeing him around all that much, and the newcomer will also get the screen time to take us through a lap at the Jeddah Corniche circuit, which I'm absolutely atrocious at, and that hence not racing tonight. So the very twisty Sector 1, it's going to be absolutely key to absolutely nail that in order to get the best possible position in qualifying. And Miguel is going to be looking into delivering his absolute best beside BR4 in the other Alfa Romeo, who is a championship contender. A very fast track, this Jeddah track. In this concrete tube where the ever dangerous walls are extremely close all the time while doing the lap almost completely flat out. And Miguel running out the final corner to start the first timed lap of the session in the Alfa Romeo. DRS wide open on the main straight, which will definitely be an overtaking spot for tonight, as the drivers will probably set up moves on the very long back straight, which kind of resembles the Grand Tour's test track, where there is a straight called Isn't Straight. And rightfully so, because it isn't straight. Very neat and tidy for Miguel running the first corner, but will it be fast? That will be seen in a moment. 32.3 on the first sector, so it'll be interesting to see whether he can improve. I was just on the chat with the guys and was listening to their sector times as they were honing their skills and practicing, getting ready to go on this qualifying session. But all is looking neat and tidy for Miguel so far. The very difficult, I believe that's turns 22, 23 and 24. As Miguel sets the purple second sector, of course, him being first driver to set a timed lap. And then slam on the brakes, hug the apex for the final corner, go as close to the exit, the outside wall as possible, open up the DRS, and Miguel Fragoso will set the first time lap of the session, which is a 27.5. I believe we are about to have a contender for him. The lone Mercedes of Stege is already on a lap. Stege, a very fast driver who seems to be a soldier of misfortune of some sorts. He's been involved in some incidents over the course of the start of the ALR season, and Stege crosses the line with a 26.8. Fast laps are already pouring in at the fast pace. Stebas lost in behind him with a 27.4. Here's Erminator, who's turned out to be a bit of a Jeddah specialist. And Bloodwave sets the fastest time of the session with a 26.3. Stelios on his first attempt slots in behind him with a 26.6. Let's see what Erminator in his Aston Martin can do. He gets a bit of a tow from the Ferrari. What I believe is Daxi, who goes 7th fastest, and Erminator with a 26.5 goes 2nd fastest. I told you guys, the man is a Jeddah specialist of some sorts. Here's Big Turns with a 28.0. Currently slowest of the drivers who have a lap. Here's Bobo, the other Haas, crossing the line to go 5th with a 27.1. And the next car, BR4, is on a lap. BR4, definitely a championship contender, multiple wins, and I believe some championships under his belt as well. Always dangerous, extremely fast, and will probably provide a good challenge for the sleeping giant Baraka, who is still in the... actually, he's starting his out lap, and is feared to be absolutely dominating the grid. But let's see BR4 first. BR4 crossing the line to go 4th fastest with a 26.7. Maybe not the absolute best our drivers can offer. Not quite yet. Here's Noble, who has aborted his attempt. Here's Menlis crossing the line to go 8th fastest with a 27.3. Already running out of fuel on the line, so maybe a tenth or two there. Hopefully he gets out of the way of Baraka, who has just started a lap, and we will go on board with him. Sporting the Alpha Tauri colors tonight, and also interestingly on the medium tires. Maybe just getting a feeler of the track for now. That remains to be seen, or how is he gonna... Well, you can definitely tell from the first sector that this guy is just plain and simple very, very fast and dangerous. Goes purple in the first sector with medium tires. The guy just might be toying with the entirety of the field, hugging the inside lines and going extremely close to the walls, but doing it extremely fast. Let's see, Baraka now 2 sectors under his belt, and that's a purple sector too as well. We're about to see a monster of a lap from Baraka. Opens up the DRS to go all flat on the back straight. Slams the brakes, hugs the apex, goes as close to the outside wall as possible, opens up the throttle, opens up the DRS, and here's Baraka, who pulls out on the last minute but still sets a 27.6. The guy's an absolute lunatic on the mediums as well. Baraka just flexing his muscles at this stage. Will be interesting to see how he fares when it gets to that. Here's Noble, who has now started a new attempt, coming to the final corner. Has taken my car. I was supposed to be on that second Williams, but duty calls, or so to speak. Noble Garter crossed the line to go 7th with a 26.8. Extremely tight from P2 to P7. All the drivers within just 3 tenths. And I believe nobody is currently on a lap. Or the Naked Chap is. Let's see what he will be able to do. Stelios' teammate in the Alpine can surprise with the pace, not being probably the class of the field so far, but let's see if the Saudi race will change it tonight. Looking neat and tidy thus far. Let's see. Will the clock like it or not? Well, not a purple second sector at least, but let's see. Opens up the DRS and the throttle. And Miguel has had an off, I believe. Yes, that is in the hairpin. He has had an off and a crash, and that's his qualifying done. Currently sat in P12. Might be dropping further back. Here's the naked champ who can probably drop him further back, but not on this time. He was 16th fastest with 27.9. Nikuja in the Red Bull. Menli is his teammate. Nikuja will cross the line to go 8th fastest with 27.0. As the second round of laps has already started and is well underway. Here's Milsey in the second AlphaTauri, doing the very twisty and difficult first sector, to which I absolutely lack the skill to do, at least at these guys' pace. I had no chance when I did some practice, but here's Adam, trying his absolute hardest. He's improving by a 10th after the first sector, and is looking to contest for a spot in the top 10. Hugs the wall, hugs the apex, and tries to open up the throttle as early as humanly possible without losing the rear. DRS open wide, and is improving by a good 3/10, which would see him rise up to P9-ish. Hugs the inside wall, opens up the throttle, and here is Adam Millsy trying his luck in the Jeddah circuit in the AlphaTauri to go 9th fastest with a good, solid, or close to 5/10 improvement. Let's see who's on the lap next. I believe that might be the Mercedes of Stege is on the lap, and he's managing a 2/10 improvement, which would see him contest for a P2. Possibly higher if he's found something in the final sector. Here's Stege, the lone Mercedes, and crosses the line to go second fastest, just a 10th shy of Bloodwave. To clinch a provisional spot at the front row as Bloodwave improves his time to go 26.2 and further solidify his position at the top. Let's see, next car would seem to be Boba, who is also improving. Boba goes 8th fastest with the 26.9. Many improves on his time by just a bit. Here's Terminator's challenge. Will he be able to best Bloodweb? No. Isn't able to improve on his time on this occasion, but still a good attempt he can do. And not many cars currently out on laps. Adam is coming to the pits. Here's Menlis, who's managing, and has a Max Verstappen-esque moment at the final corner and decides to call it quits in the pits for that attempt. Was managing a 4/10 improvement. And into the pits comes Bloodwave as well. Here's Boba, but he's out of ERS, so not improving by the looks of it. Penny's invalid. Terminator's out of fuel. Mitch would seem to be on the lap. Let's see how he can do. Our current championship leader, and lifts off the throttle to probably save save it for the final attempt around the Jeddah track. As the only car around our track would seem to be the blue dot of Stelios, who decides to go out early. Possibly to do 2 outlaps maybe to get the tires in the right window. No? Let's see, Stelios always dangerous as well, the Greek god, who has been on the contest for wins this season. He will be the first to start the final round of laps, as the session is coming closer to the end. Right, so here's Stelios starting his lap for what I believe is going to be his final attempt. He wants to do it on a clear track. Might be struggling with traffic in the end, or not, because he's actually made it to start the lap before possible traffic. Really close to the walls, really pushing everything in his power, looking extremely neat, extremely fast, and still within the track limits. Stelios on the first sector is managing a 2/10 improvement, but needs to find some more to get closer to Bloodwave. And by starting his lap early, has he put himself in a position where the track might be better for the other guys? That we will see in just a bit. As we all know, not real-life type events like wind or anything will affect these digital gladiators. Stelios is still managing a 1/10 improvement, looking to contest Terminator for P3. Possibly higher if he can find something magnificent on the final sector. The tractor that it has been the Alpine is not a tractor when it's in the hands of Stel, screaming for agony as he runs out the final corner. Opens up the DRS, and Stel Repas to the line. He goes to P2, just is able to pip Stege for P2. And the die has been cast. Bloodwave still on top. Baraka also on an outlap, so anything, and by that I mean literally anything can happen, as my fellow countryman Steba takes rather adventurous lines on his first attempt, but he's probably saving for another. As the first round of laps has started, it would seem like Menlis is giving Nekusa some tow, as he saved his DRS for the first corners, as the Red Bull pairing is right on top of each other for their final attempt. Nekusa currently in P10, has had some flashes of pace. It's almost like Menlis is towing Nekusa. And Menlis will not make the line, so that's his session done and dusted then. 26.6, and this is his final time on the board. As Nekusa is still trying to improve on his position, cuts the curb and hits the wall a tad bit. That might be the end, unless he manages to pull something magical. As everybody is basically now on their final attempt of the session, and Nekusa is not improving, so we will change targets now. And Steba and Naked Champ's session is done and dusted. Bloodwave is not improving, hits the wall there, and that's the end of it. Terminator also retires from the session, so that's the end of his session as well. As here is Snowball Garter managing an improvement. looking to go into top 5 unless something has been found in the final sector. Nakusa calls it quits. Noble to the line to go 4th fastest. Stege right behind him. Let's see where he will end up. After him is going to be Nakusa, and Stege goes fastest with a 26.1. But here's Baraka on the medium tires still. Baraka to the line to go 26.6 even on the mediums. Absolutely amazing. And here's BR4, Costi's challenge to go P4 with a 26.4. Here's Mitch on his final attempt. But I believe Daxi, his teammate, slots in just behind him. But let's see now, Mitch still on his lap, and I believe he will be the last one to arrive. Mitchell comes to the line. Will he manage to improve? Yes, he can to P. He goes to 5th position. But wow, Stege on the last minute pulls off a true buzzer beater to just edge Bloodwave for the best seat on the grid. So Stege, the lone Mercedes, will be starting on pole, followed by Bloodwave, Stelios, BR4, and Mitch, who was the last person who actually did the exact same time as BR4. Looking down at the rest of the grid, we have Noble Garter in 6th, Erminator in 7th, Baraka with the mediums going 8th fastest still. Menlis in 9th, Daxi in 10th, 11th is Boba, 12th Nekusa, 13th Milzy, followed by Benny, Big Turns, Teba, Miguel, and Naked Champ. Right, so first fully dry race of the entire season. But being a street track that Jeddah is, we very well might see some carnage. We very well might see some safety cars. I can almost guarantee you we will. Let's see if we will get excitement for the contest for the win. Baraka starting in 6th, I believe. Bold prediction, Baraka is going to win, BR4 is going to be 2nd, Bloodwave in 3rd. That's my bold prediction. Let's see if I cast a commentator's curse on Baraka. Probably not. As here we have the 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. Who's going to get the best of starts? Stege gets a good start, but Bloodwave on the inside has got even a better one. Goes to the inside to challenge Stege, and he spins immediately. Bloodwave unfortunately spins, and here's Noble Garter, who also has a spin of the half sort, and it's all going to hell in the first corner. Oh, and that's a crash and a half, and that's a safety car. That's a massive crash. As we see, I think it might have been Steba who started that, but that's, as a result, Big Turns is out. And so is Steba, and that is, of course, a full safety car right away. So a chaotic start, which saw Bloodwave having an unfortunate spin. And yet again, the McLaren, which is heading to the first corner in the first, manages to drop it. And Stege emerges from the first corner as your race leader. Baraka able to make that one position away from Bloodwave's hands. As it really hasn't been a Williams today. I mean, the true Logan Sargent of Tier 1, myself, was drafted in comms, and Steba retires after just, I think that was 2 corners. No, 3. But still. It is not the Williams day. as we have seen the first from what I believe is going to be an abundance of safety cars. Still looks to be going into the pits, but does not in the end. Let's see the starting tires of the drivers. So Stelios aggressively starts on the medium tires, where Stege and BR4 and Mitch all went for the hards. Bloodwave into the pits, followed by naked champion Miguel and Nikusa. So, was there damage for Bloodwave? Yes, there was. That is a nose change for the McLaren. Very unfortunate contact in the first corner, but being extremely fast driver Bloodwave is, he can probably claw his way back. At least to some extent. So plenty of wings being changed for the drivers. So Baraka going extremely aggressive here early, starting on the soft tires, but not deciding to pit away from them. But the guy is an absolute master of the craft, so he can probably make those tires last. Albeit Jeddah is not a very high wear circuit. It's not very particularly hard on the tires, as most of it is spent going, well, at least close in just straight line. Here is your possible strategies. It will be a easy one-stop race, of course, being the 50% race this is. And if any admins are listening to this, I personally would appreciate more 100% races to get some variable strategies. But that's the tale for the seasons to come. Kusa pits again for some reason. For yet another nose. Red Bull's gonna run out by that pace. And I believe the safety car should be in this lap and allow the racing to continue. Let's see who gained what. So your biggest gainers are Benny Bano, who gained 6 positions probably from that crash. And biggest losers of course being Bloodwave, who started on the 2nd position. Had contact with Stege, in case you're joining us just now. Had contact with Stege and a spin. Also had a wing change here early. And it's now running in P13. But still early days, anything can happen, and literally anything. This is ALR in the end. So, the safety car should be in this lap. Would be interesting to see how far will Barak's soft tires go, and to which tire he's gonna pit after that. He had a new shaft for sure, so mediums are possible. If he simply is able to make them last long enough. So he probably needs to pit around lap 12, as the safety car will be in this lap. And we're gonna pull out Stege's telemetry to see when he will go. And how will the drivers behind him respond. Snaking around, trying to get some heat into those hard tires, which are of course scrubbed in, but still incredibly difficult to get in the right window after a safety car period. Stay around the final corner. Stege is going to be deciding when to go, and he's went, and still following pretty nicely behind. Mitchell has been caught napping by Baraka, and the two go side by side into the first corner. Mitchell breaks later and is able to keep his place for the time being. Let's see further back. Everyone seems to be getting away much cleaner than from a standing start. Here's Millsy trying to have a look on Daxi. Goes extremely close and nearly breaches the track limits. With Bloodwave extremely close behind, and that's Benny going slowly. He must have had a mistake of some sort. Has he lost the wing or nothing? Oh, and he has a spin, and that's a crash. And that's another safety car, for sure. Yep. The safety car is out yet again, and we have yet another casualty of the concrete walls of Jeddah. As Benny Bono has an unfortunate spin, and his night comes to an abrupt end. So, not much in terms of position changes. That was only a short period. Bloodwave has managed to gain a place. Used to be P13, now is up to P11. Just one position away from the points. And let's see now, with the second safety car period, will Baraka make the decision to, which would sound to me like the only logical one, to pit away from the softs, sorry. Because I believe the game will only allow 3 safety cars, maybe 1 virtual on top of that, but not more than that. Bloodwave on the mediums is not going to be able to take them to the end. As into the pits comes Stelios. So he pits away from the medium tires under the safety car conditions. He's going to concede in terms of track position, and the hard tires will go on that Alpine. So I believe Stelios is going to be looking into going to the end on that tire, but he's going to have a terrible traffic jam ahead of him. So the die has been cast, the hand has been shown. From the lead drivers, Bloodwave and Stelios have pitted, while the others have opted to stay out, even though the safety car is out. But I'm pretty sure we will see some more safety car action later on, but with Stelios having done the pit stop already, he's gonna have the edge at that point. But Baraka still staying out on the soft tire. Had a little look on Mitchell. Well, wasn't able to do that on the outside. Mitchell simply braked later and is able to keep what is now P3. And I think the safety car should not come in. Not quite yet. It will be another lap. So one more lap behind the safety car, under the lights here in Jeddah. And I hope we will get a complete lap of green flag conditions after that. If not the entire race distance. But it's good to get the safety cars out of the way here early. And for sure there's going to be words said about the turn 1 incident, where, if you're just joining us, the 10th place Bloodwave, who started second, had an unfortunate spin after contact with Stege. And of course the massive crash that ensued in, I think that is turn 3 or 4, where, from what I could tell from my terrible angle, is that Steba hit big turns and all hell broke loose. But anyway. As the call for the safety car to come in should come at any minute, and there it is. We will pull out the telemetry once more to see when Stege decides to finally go, and let's see if BR4 is able to follow as well as Mitchell behind of him. Mitchell's got to have got to be on his toes because he's got the extremely fast rampaging Baraka on the soft tires. Albeit 5 laps old, but still. Let's see if we will go at the same spot. He has gone earlier and not caught BR4 napping. And all the drivers seemingly getting away well after the safety car restart. And back to green flag conditions we go. Back to racing we go. Yet again, Stelios has already made a place at the back. He's currently fighting Miguel for P14. Stel having been the only driver who pitted on this second safety car occasion. Here's Bloodwave, who's trying to catch Millsy, and Millsy is gonna have a look on Daxi, who had a bit of a moment, but is still able to retain his position for now. Meanwhile, further ahead, Baraka deploying his ERS, going inside on Mitchell and taking P3 fairly easily in the end. Baraka chasing BR4 now. Of course, softs against the hards, but the true question is how much pace do those softs still got after 6 laps, albeit like 1 complete lap of racing. Stege has already ripped a gap of 1.3 seconds, so things are looking good for the Mercedes driver, who also started on pole, but he is yet to pit. So let's see. Baraka now trying to get the best slipstream possible, looking to the outside of BR4. Going into the final corner, has a very nice slipstream, goes to the inside as Menlis is trying to have a look at Mitchell, but fails in the end, and Baraka goes to second position, has now that 1.8 second gap to Stege. BR4 is going to come back at Baraka, looks to the outside, Baraka brakes later, and is able to keep the position for now. Some moves being made here early. After that safety car restart, the Red Bull Menlis trying to chase Mitchell as the gaps are now starting to spread a little bit. Miguel gets past Nick Champ, who I believe has had a moment because the rear two have dropped a bit. Other than that and the leaders, the gaps are relatively small. Everyone trying to just settle in, find their rhythm after that safety car restart. Here's Benlis, very close on Mitchell. He has the tire advantage of the mediums, albeit 7 lap old ones. There's now a train from P3 to P8. Oh, and here's Terminator trying to have a look on the outside of Menlis. Let's see what he can do. Side by side, the two drivers go. Menlis overshots the braking and spins Mitchell right round. And that's a safety car. Into the pits goes Boba, and that's going to be a slam dunk report. That's going to be a slam dunk report, and that's going to be a slam dunk penalty. Mitchell is trying to get his Ferrari pointing in the right direction. Into the pits go Boba, Noble, Menlis, who probably had damage from the contact, Adam, Nekusa, and Mitch has probably had enough. Yep. Poor Mitch. That was that was not his fault. Menlis just overshot the braking, and well, that's not the first time something like that has happened. And now only 14 drivers in the race, with Baraka probably, or the front runners probably missing the pit entry. Yes, of course they did, because Menlis and Mitch were somewhat behind them. So, Bloodwave having the provisional net race lead, but on the medium tires he should have to pit once more. Don't quite know how well you can save tires around Jeddah. That will those mediums still have pace on them to go to the end? Probably not. The hard runners might, but Stege and BR4 are yet to fill the tire rule. Same goes for Daxi, who hasn't pitted. Oh, Stege lifts off the throttle for some tactics, perhaps. A weird moment. As the front runners now, Stege and Baraka dive down to the pits, and Erminator and BR4 and Daxi still staying out. So Stege and Baraka, having missed the pit entry, was the safety car call came. Now finally off for the pits. And onto the mediums goes Baraka. But it is lap 10 already, with probably some 12-13 racing laps to go. He should comfortably make them to the end. Same goes for Stege. And the naked champ has pitted at the same time. And BR4 is your new race leader. Remember, this is the third safety car already. How many more of these we will see? And that remains to be seen. With Erminator, who's a bit of a Jeddah specialist, as I told you in the qualifying, is now in P2. Very nice from the Aston Martin driver. But is yet to pit. So that might still change. Here's a list for you, how many stops have the drivers done. So BR4, Erminator, Daxi, the only drivers who are yet to pit. And of course Bloodwave still probably has to pit again, as the safety car will be in this lap, and this time it will be BR4 who's going to be leading off the restart. Will he be going at the same spot as Stege did, who is now in 12th? Suffering from safety cars. And into the final corner goes BR4. Let's see when he will go. Still warming up his tires, so he's gonna go at the absolute last moment. Here he goes. Erminator is able to follow pretty close behind, as is Bloodwave. And Daxi, Nekusa collides with his teammate and gets a penalty. Stelios already attacking Daxi, and pretty comfortable move, goes to the inside to go fourth. So Stelios might be actually in a very, very good position to contest for the win, as Miguel and Boba go side by side. Miguel breaks earlier and Boba takes the position. He went off track, so was that an illegal overtake? That we will not be able to know, as Adam Millsy gets two positions in a swift move in the very tricky section. Stege and Nekusa have pitted. Stege onto the soft tire, and Daxi takes the place from Terminator, who's probably suffering from wearing his tires. There's plenty of fights going all around. Menley is on the inside of Noble, led by Miguel, who goes very wide and very slow. That's a mistake and a half, and that costs him 2 positions. Now also Baraka knocking on his doors. Very unfortunate for Stege if he suffered damage on the safety car restart somehow. Has to pit, and now is very, very far away from the leading pack. As Bloodwave moves on to the lead, he has gotten past PR4, but the fight is still going on. Wheel to wheel, the 2 drivers go in the final corner. And still wheel to wheel, both drivers deploying their ERS. Who has got more straight line speed? From the looks of it, pretty equal. Bloodwave gets a better launch, and he's ahead going into the first corner. And is able to take the position for PR4 momentarily, but gets a poor exit. And PR4 takes the lead right back. So the lead through trading blows here around the halfway mark of the race. Adam gets past Terminator. Terminator's had a moment. Terminator is without a wing, and that's a VSC. So my prediction was that there will be 3 safety cars and 1 VSC. That exact thing has not happened. Well, let's see how we will end up. So BR4, after trading blows with Bloodwave, is able to retain his lead for now. As they get pits yet again. It's all going back to worse. It's back to green flag racing we go. BR4 gets a better launch of the VSC restart than Bloodwave, and it has now got 6/10 of advantage. But BR4 hasn't fulfilled the tire rule yet, so he still has to pit. Makes a mistake, and Bloodwave is now ever so close. Tucks himself under the slipstream. Is he gonna have a challenge under the final corner? Bloodwave on the outside of BR4, and still side by side the 2 drivers go. But Bloodwave gets the better exit, and into the lead goes Bloodwave here in Jeddah. And now Stelios is looking to have a go at the open door on BR4, and is successfully able to do so. So, BR4 having an atrocious couple of corners. Losing 2 positions on the now front runners, as there's plenty of fighting here as well. With Adam seemingly getting past Menlis and having a terrible internet from the looks of it. And Menlis goes to the outside of Adam and gets the position right back. This will prove massively beneficial to Brack, as Menlis is a scary moment with the rear. And remember, if you're just joining us, he spun round Mitch and he's gonna have a penalty for sure. Terminator goes onto the pits to change his wing, and that's probably his race ruined as well. So there's a bit of a train forming now behind Taxi. Menley is having a look, but the terrible exit causes Adam to be able to attack. Side by side the 2 drivers go. DRS not available. Oh, it is actually. And with the DRS assistance, Adam gets past Taxi, and there's Menley's going to the wall at a very high rate of speed. And let's see if we will have another safety car still. No, from the looks of it. And Menley's race is going from bad to worse. Naked Champ lifts off and times his attack on Miguel to the main straight with the tire advantage. Should be a slam dunk move, and it is. As here's Noble and Adam having a go, with Baraka having passed the both of them. Into P5 goes Barak, and not the gap to the front runners is not huge. Oh, Stege is out. Stege is out, so only 12 drivers left. Stege counted his blessings and had his race ruined by that probable wing damage on the last full safety car restart, and we're down to 12 runners here in Jeddah. Baraka, he's really turned on the afterburners, and the gap diminishing very, very quickly. All of the front runners within DRS, with Stel trying to chase Bloodwave. for the lead. And Nekusa is the next one to fall. Nekusa is the next one to fall. Probably clipped his front tire on the inside wall, and we're down to 11 runners. I should have raced. I mean, the only points I've been able to get in Tier 1 are because I just simply ran to the end, and there were just that many people that everyone who finishes gets points, and it will seem like to be that way this time round as well. But let's see about the battle for the win. Bloodwave now with only 2 tenths separating him and Stelios. And Baraka is just hammering away. Attacks on Boba, nearly overcooks the braking. Pretty slam dunk move on Boba, and now is looking to harass BR4, who probably has quite a bit of wear in his tires. 14 laps in those hards. Same goes for Bloodwave though, because he pitted lap 1. And Baraka extremely quickly is now looking to deploy his ERS to go past BR4, and does so with ease. So Baraka already in the podium positions and has now set his sights on Stelios and Blood. And he's looking to dominate the rest of the field. Plenty of road still to go. Let's see what will happen. As the gaps now have even out a bit. That's a mistake from Blood, and that will allow Stelios to attack. Will he do the move onto the back straight? Stelios with the slipstream on the outside of Bloodwave, and into the lead goes Stelrepas. And he's gonna have his fight with Brack, I believe, because Bloodwave probably still has to pit. And it's really going back from bad to worse as BR4 now finally heads onto the pits. And Bloodwave takes the lead right back from Stelios. With some help of the DRS, he's able to make the move stick and will retain the lead once more. With Baraka closely surveying the scene, with Boba Fett not far behind. Is Barak gonna do it in the same spot? Is he gonna deploy the ERS? No, not quite yet. But edging very close to Stelios now. We soon might be witnessing the turning point of the race, which might decide who is gonna emerge victorious. And Stelios probably clinging onto the DRS with dear life, in order to keep Bloodwave, Baraka at bay. No mistakes this time around, and Terminator has retired from the session, so every driver present scores points. That means I should have raced, even though I would have been multiple laps behind. But let's see about this. Bloodwave, with his red light blinking, still trying to keep the rampant Stelios and Barak behind. And into the pits goes Bloodwave to cover off BR4. Let's see how will that work out. Stelios is your new race leader, but with Barak behind him with the relatively new medium tires. Let's see how long they will last. But first, let's see. Here's Bloodwave doing his pit stop. BR4 coming from the final corner now. It's gonna be pretty tight from the looks of it. Bloodwave now on the pit exit. Did BR4 gain anything from the undercut? No, it would seem. And those guys' order is gonna stay as is. So Stelios is now your new race leader. With Boba Fett surprisingly on the podium position as of now, so he has probably timed his pit stops to the perfection. And here's Baraka now, looking to contest Stelios for the win. Or is he? He hasn't opened his DRS wing, so he's wisely timing his move. He's wisely timing his move to be done at the correct spot so he can pull a gap and never look back. let's just agree to disagree, Terminator. This track is not fun. Not for a pad peasant such as myself. Anyways, here's Barack. Now deploying his DRS. Now open up his DRS wing. And into the lead goes Barack on lap 18 here in Jeddah. But now the interesting question will be, will he be able to leave Stelios hanging? Will Barack pull a gap and solidify his victory as BR4 has done the fastest lap of the race? Trying to now attack Bloodwave for 8th. Bloodwave with a bad exit. Here's BR4 has a look to the inside, but that's no place to really make a realistic move. As we're edging closer to the first detection point, Baraka already with 8 tenths or close to 8 tenths. Is he going to be able to leave Stelios in the dust? Not quite yet, as with a bit of help from ERS assistance, Stelios is able to keep himself within the DRS range of Baraka. But at this rate, Baraka should be gone. Unless Stelios plans to do something about it. He's gotten pretty close starting the main straight. Baraka deploying his ERS. And not much Stelios can do about that. But he lives to fight another lap. Anyways, looking further back, Bloodwave and BR4, the unfortunate duo. If you take a look what the safety cars did to them, Bloodwave with the new fastest lap, so he answers straight back to BR4. They're now looking to contest Miguel. Miguel seemingly letting the two faster guys pass through display of sportsmanship. As we yet again approach the first detection point of a full lap in Jeddah. And Stelios still seemingly able to... It was super close. Did he get the DRS or not? Coming to the line. No, he did not. So Stelios is forced to deploy to get it right back, and now he should have it. With Stelios clearly pushing harder than he was earlier, as Boba has now fallen back with about 2 seconds. Oh, BR4 has brushed with the inside wall, but nothing too serious. With a real life F1 car, that would have probably been a retirement. That's some inhumane pace from Baraka. I mean, the guy behind of him has DRS and is deploying the energy to keep close, but Stelios clearly struggling to go against the mighty Baraka. The gap now 9 tenths as we're approaching the detection zone once more. Baraka has also deployed quite a bit to try and shake Stelios. Now the gap is over a second. Stelios hasn't got much battery to spend, and the DRS range has been exceeded. And I think that's Baraka gone with the race win in his pocket if he can just keep that up. Meanwhile, Bloodwave has already catched Daxi, who's on ancient tires, and that's a relatively straightforward move. Oh, but is Daxi looking to come back at him? Bloodwave with the DRS, and BR4 now trying to contest Daxi. Has the inside line going into turn, I think that's 23, and that's a move completed. Bloodwave now up to 6th. Back at the top of the leaderboard, the gap now 1.6 seconds, and I think this will be how the first two will finish. Baraka has already spent his ERS, but he did so at the right time, as the gap is now 1.8 seconds, and that's going to be difficult to gain back. Dax is trying to hold on to dear life to stay close to BR4, but with tires of that age, it's not going to be possible, as he has a little moment with the rear and now bottoms out on the curb. With these two being, well, of course, along with Bloodwave and BR4, with these two being the closest pair there is at the moment. Owen Noble spent his ERS, the Lone Williams still in the race. Adam has a clear advantage in terms of battery available to deploy. Is Adam going to be thinking of moves going on to the latter stages of this race here in Jeddah this fine evening? Man, I should have raced. Might have been on the points. BR4 now getting closer to Bloodwave, but not close enough, with 4 laps still to go. Oh, and Daxi has an unfortunate retirement in the pits. Why? He was on course for points as Bloodwave! Bloodwave has had a crash, and is that the dreaded inside wall? Is that the dreaded inside wall into turn 3? I think it was. And now only 8 drivers remain. But I think Bloodwave and Daxi did complete the required amount of laps to score points. I don't know, we will see in the end. With now Adam Noble being the only drivers within the DRS range of each other. Adam is probably setting up a move going into the latter stages. With 3 laps now, and a little over 3 laps remaining in the race. Opens up the DRS. Will we see a challenge late on Noble, whom I believe I haven't seen before, so a pretty nice outing on his first race here in Tier 1. Already looking to score P4, if he can keep Adam behind, that is. Other than that, gap's relatively unchanged. Boba looking to score a podium for Haas team, which has been a bit of a struggle for them. So a podium would do good, but not all is done and dusted yet. Noble constantly flashing, so when will it happen? Oh, and that's over the track limits. By the way, we haven't seen any penalties, which is a nice surprise. Track limit penalties can really mess stuff up. And here's Adam looking to go on the outside, but lifts off at the final minute. So he's going to try and time the move of going into turn 1, but will it be just this lap? Don't think so. Adam had a pretty terrible exit out of the last corner, but Adam is, Noble is all spent in terms of ERS and not really gaining on Boba. But that was the closest thing to a move we've seen in a couple of laps now, after the dramatic retirements of Blood and Daxi. Oh, that's a corner cut. And that has to be a warning. If it wasn't, I will be extremely surprised. But was it a mere tactical one, as Miguel takes the fastest lap? Interestingly. Peter put the soft tires. I mean, why wouldn't he? That's going to score him an extra point. Oh, and that's a warning for Adam as well. So these two drivers are going to provide the late entertainment as we are getting ready to start the final lap of this Saudi Grand Prix. Adam gets very close on DRS, but really needs to nail the exits to make a move happen. Will we see a last lap move to settle the 4th place finisher? Adam now opens up the DRS and lifts off. So it's all a tactical game for him. Noble close to none on his battery. Now Adam is closer than ever before. Will he launch last lap move? Going into turn 1. Noble depends on the inside and Adam lifts. So he's gonna wait. Wait. And wait. Boy, he's gonna absolutely nail this final lap, and in the dirty air with the worn tires, he's got to be successful in staying close. Which is clearly difficult in the very twisty first sector. Five tenths now, the two drivers gap. At the top, everything unchanged. Baraka is gonna win, for sure. And now we go on to the first of the DRS trades, and this is where Adam is gonna deploy. He's pretty far back, that's 6 tenths back. He has got to save some in order to complete the move, and now he's gonna absolutely nail the exits. Oh, and Noble has a moment, and that's not then. Noble actually retires, so we turn our attentions to the top. Was there really any question? It's gonna be Baraka to win here in Saudi Arabia, with Stell finishing a very nice P2. Just not able to match Baraka and his relentless pace. Boba with a nice podium. Adam picks up the 4th position. And in the end, BR4, who led some chunk of the race, is going to finish P5. The Naked Champ is going to finish 6th. And boy, oh boy, I am pissed I didn't race, because this would have been a nice points haul. Naked Champ rounds out the final corner, has a little celebratory tire warm-up. And a very nice P6 for him. And Miguel Fragoso might be a debutant, I don't know, but picks up the fastest lap and the 7th place. And that's the end of that. And Miguel picking up the driver of the day as well. Well, Jack, everything. Not many people finished Jeddah. Not exactly surprised. Looking at the finishing order we have. So Baraka won. Stelios in 2nd. Boba in 3rd. Adam picks up the 4th position in the end. BR4 finishes 5th. Naked Champ and Miguel Fragoso 6th and 7th respectively. Noble Garder had a final lap crash, but still a very nice P8. And Bloodwave, who retired a couple of laps earlier, picks up 2 points, and Daxi seemingly none. So he retired just too early. If he had waited for his car to cross the line, then he might have scored that point. And a whole abundance of retirements as per usual, concerning it's a street track. Well, anyways, hope you enjoyed the racing. This is ALR, Aero League Racing, and it's absolute finest here in Tier 1 this evening. My name is Alupallu. You probably will see me on track, or not, depends on how I feel. And I wish you all a very good night.